Hey y'all, my name's Jennifer with True to You Yoga, and today's flow is going to be more a relaxing flow to help with any tension and anxiety you may be feeling. For props, you might need a blanket or a cushion to put under your bottom during some seated poses or under your knees. If you need a block, you can always grab that for whenever we are in runner's lunge. Let's go ahead and hop on our mat and get started. Just come to seated, whatever is comfortable for you, whether it's crisscross applesauce for your easy seat, if it is setting down on your bottom, however works, chair, anything works for us. Okay, so set up nice and tall, like there's a long line of energy from your tailbone all the way at the top of your head. Your chin will end up being parallel to the floor, so the floor and your chin are train tracks. You can close down your eyes if you'd like. Your hands can rest on your knees or on your thighs, whatever is comfortable for you. There is a slight engagement throughout your abdominal area. Nothing crazy, just to help, protect your back and it'll help you to sit up straight. Let's take one big inhale through our nose and exhale out our mouth. Let's do that again. You can seal your lips and start to take your inhales and exhales just through your nose. You can do it to a count of 3 if you are capable, or whatever works for you. So you inhale, 3, give a little pause, and then exhale, 1, 2, 3, give a little pause. Bring your hands to your belly, and with each inhale, fill your belly, filling up with air. And then with each exhale, fill it deflate. If you have any thoughts popping up, just push them aside. Just concentrating on your breath right now. Release your hands down to your thighs. You can flutter your eyes open if they've been closed. And we're going to do some head rolls. So just drop your chin down towards your chest, and then slowly start to roll your head one direction or the other. So you're just making circles with your nose. It doesn't have to be any kind of crazy big, exaggerated head rolls. If you find a sticky spot, you can go ahead and hang out there for a beat or two. And then change directions. Keep sitting up nice and tall. Once you get back to the chin to your chest, Take your hands and gently help lift your head up. Next thing we're going to do is scrunch your shoulders up nice and tight near your ears. Breathe, breathe, inhale. Exhale and just drop them. Let's do that again. Inhale, scrunch them up nice and tight. Exhale and drop them. One more time. Inhale nice and tight. Exhale and drop them. Shake them out some. Bring your right hand towards your mat. Your left hand's going to reach up overhead nice and tall. Think about your fingers being pulled up towards the ceiling, and then start to tilt over towards your right. Your right hand is pushing into the floor to help with that stretch all the way down your left side. Keep that slight ab engagement. You can play with your shoulder placement with this. You typically hear to be opening your chest up kind of towards the ceiling. Take a moment and just tip your shoulder forward a tiny bit, and you're going to feel it differently in your upper back. That is where I have problems with mine getting so tight, so I always like to take a few beats and that shoulder tip forward. Take your left hand now. You're going to sweep it down towards the floor by your right knee, and then on through the middle and on around. So now both hands are on the floor beside you. On each side, your right hand is going to sweep across through the front, all the way over towards the right, and then lift up through to center, both arms up overhead. Hands down by your sides. Inhale, we're going to lift our right arm up this time. Your left hand is on the floor. If you need to put a block there, put a block there. Nice and tall. Think that length before you start tipping over. That nice long extension in your side. Again, pushing into the mat with your left hand. And then you can play with that tip of your shoulder. When you tip it forward, you feel it a little bit more behind your shoulder blade. And I get extremely tight there working on the computer. My right one is way worse than my left, I guess, from the mouse. Okay, we're going to do that little sweep again. So bring your right hand down towards your left side floor by your knee. Sweep it through the front. Right hand's on your right by your right side. Left hand still on the floor on the left side. Sweep your left hand across over towards your right knee, and then lift it back up towards center, both arms overhead, and exhale, hands down to your side. Just take a little moment here, kind of roll out your neck a little bit, just some nice little gentle movements. Shake out your hands. If you're feeling any more tension, you can give them a good shake. You can flick your fingers. We're trying to get rid of that tension and anxiety today. So it's different for everybody, and it's different day to day. If the slow, gentle movements afterwards work better, or the shaking and flicking. Sit nice and tall for a moment. A couple big breaths in and out. Come onto your hands and knees for tabletop. If you need a blanket on your knees, you can go ahead and grab that. Wrists are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath of your hips, belly is pulled up towards your spine, gaze is down, your fingers are gripping the mat like you're trying to suck that mat up through your palms. Inhale, drop your belly down towards the floor. Your chest is going to lift up between your collarbones. Gaze goes forward then. Keep your belly a slight engagement. Exhale, push away from the floor for cat. Drop your tailbone towards the floor, the top of your head towards the floor, your chin's towards your chest. Push away from the floor so then you feel that stretch in your shoulder blades again. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Do another one at your own pace. and back to table. We're going to find a little bit of movement in this cat-cow now. So on your cow, you're kind of going to bring your chest more down towards your mat and roll through to up where you would typically be. Let's just try that again. So bend back just a little bit, shift your weight back, bend your elbows, take your chest down kind of towards the floor, and then back up through your normal cow to tabletop. Now we're going to kind of go backwards with the cat pose. Round your tailbone, and then your low back, your mid back, your upper back, and sink kind of back towards child's pose. And then let's just shift back forward to table. Do that again, so drop your tailbone and rounding your low back, your mid back, your upper back, shift your weight back towards your heels again, and then lift back up towards table. You can do each of those a couple more times on your own. Just play with it. It might take you a little bit. Once you're used to it, you might be able to combine the two together so it's a little flow. And with that, you would go table, shift back, bend those elbows, swoop your chest down towards the floor, through your cow, and drop your tailbone, rounding, rounding, rounding through your mid, upper, and then back towards your child's pose, and let's go back to table. That can be kind of a cute and a confusing little flow right there, so play with it and see what feels comfortable for you. Don't worry about what it looks like, just worry about what it feels like. Sink our bottoms down towards our heels for child's pose. You can separate your knees if you want to. Sink way down in there, your torso and your head towards the mat. Elbows are bent. Feel free to use some props anywhere you might need them, underneath of your chest, your head, under your booty. And just take a few breaths here. On your next exhale, shift your weight forward through to table. Take your right knee and we're going to bring it forward. You can step or carry it however you need to the outside of your right hand. Wiggle it out to where it's comfortable for you. Walk your hands up. If you want some blocks here, you can do that. And then you can just drop your knee open and closed for your lizard pose. Get some of that tension out of your hip. There's no really proper cueing per se for lizard. I just want you to listen to your body so then you're keeping it safe, and relax with that right leg so then you can release that tension. Begin to walk your right foot more towards underneath of hip distance apart. Your right hand's going to go on the outside of your right foot for a little bit of a runner's lunge. And then this time, just kind of sink your hips a little bit towards the left to stretch out your left quad, the front of your hip flexor right there. Push your weight back and bring your right foot back again to tabletop. Breath here. And let's do the other side. So your left foot's going to step forward, step or carry it, however you need to get it there. Wiggle and move it out kind of towards the edge of your mat. And then your hands are all in line with your foot. Listen to your body during this, and then you can drop that left knee kind of open and closed. Keep pulling up through your wrist though, so you're not dumping your weight. walk that foot in. So then your feet are hip width apart. Bring your hand to the outside of your left foot and then drop your weight a little bit into the right hip. Stretch that right hip out, your hip flexor. We carry a lot of tension in our hips. Our hips and our glutes. Step that left foot back for table again. And we're just going to walk our hands forward and down onto our forearms. Bring your torso down towards the mat, almost like you wanted to sit down and watch TV with your head propped on your hands. Your forearms are on the mat, your fingers are gripping the floor, your palms are up. Think about pulling that mat, like you're trying to pull it back towards your torso. Your tailbone's going to be long, so think about extending it down. All 10 toes are on the floor, and your legs are engaged, so your knees are lifting up off the floor. And then your gaze will be forward. Your belly is lifted up off the floor because your tailbone is down. So it's going to pop it up to lengthen out that spine. And just keep pulling those arms back. And breathe deep into your belly. Whatever tension you're feeling, release it now. Release down and place your head on your hands. Make a little pillow for a crocodile. So your forehead just goes on your hands, your elbows are out towards your mat. Relax your whole body. It's kind of like a reverse Shavasana. Place your hands underneath your shoulders. Push back through table to your child's pose. We're just going to hang out here for a second. Stretch your shoulders, the sides of your waist. You can rock your bottom back and forth a little bit to get some tension out of your low back. Come through table to seated on your bottom. And bend your knees to help you roll back so it's a little easier. Roll back using your abs. Place your hands behind your thighs, however you need to get down there. Tuck your shoulder blades down your spine. Bring your left foot so it's flat on the floor, your knees bent. Your right foot is going to cross over, so your right ankle is on your left knee. Your right knee kind of goes out to the side a little bit. You don't have to force it because your hips are going to be could be tight. Your hip bone is different person to person, so wherever is comfortable. Flex your right toes, and then you can use a strap if you need to. You can place a block under that left foot and just slowly begin to draw your legs towards your torso. You can reach around and grab behind your thigh if you want on your left leg. You can just be holding it there without using any hands if you can't reach it and you don't have a strap or anything. Try to release any tension in your shoulders. Breathe. Release your left foot to the mat. Keep that right ankle on your left knee and just drop your right heel towards the floor for a twist. Your right arm can come out to the side. I like it more at a Y area because of the stretch it gives through my armpit, but you can have it at a T, overhead, whatever works for you. And then try to keep both shoulder blades and your shoulders on the floor. And if your dog's hanging out there, watch out for her. Deep breaths in and out your nose, filling up your belly. And your next exhale, bring those legs back up. And we're going to switch sides. So your right foot is on the floor, knees bent. Your left foot comes up and crosses over. So your left ankle is on your right knee. Your left toes are flexed. And then start to draw them towards you, towards your torso. Just go wherever is comfortable. Feel a little bit of a stretch, but nothing crazy. You can grab behind your thigh if you'd like on your right leg. Bring your shoulders out of your ears. Continue those deep breaths, filling up your belly. Release that right foot down towards the floor, and we're going to drop your left heel off to the side for that twist again. And your left arm can go wherever feels good. Both shoulders are on the floor. Don't worry about getting everything down to the floor on your legs. That's not what we're going for here. It might eventually come, but we don't want to push it. Keep your big belly breaths going. Next exhale, bring your legs back up. Uncross that left foot. Bring both knees in towards your chest and give them a good little squeeze. You can rock back and forth a little bit side to side. Take your feet, flex your feet, put them up. So you have like bending your knees, but your feet are like you're trying to press the floor away. You're going to take your feet a little wider than your hips, and you can start with your hands behind your thighs and pull your thighs down towards you. Check your shoulder blades, make sure they're down your back and your shoulders are out of your ears. If you would like to take your hands to your calves, you can do that. And just pull those knees down towards the mat. And you can always take your hands up and grab the outsides of your feet. So get into your inner thighs a little bit. Releasing some more tension for you. You can rock back and forth. Happy Baby is a great stress reliever. Slowly release your feet, your calves, wherever you are, and bring your knees back into your chest for another little squeeze for wind pose. And then stretch your legs long on your mat for Shavasana. If you would like a bolster or something underneath of your knees, that would be great. However you need to get comfortable here. We are going to do another one of those little squeezes like we did with our shoulders at the beginning. So think about in your toes, flexing, contracting all those muscles. Keep those contracted as you go into your foot, your ankle, your calf, your quads, your hamstrings, your glutes. Squeeze everything tight. Your abs are pulling down towards the floor, tightening all that up. Your back is pushed into the floor, pushing with your arms. Arms are down by your side, pushing into the floor, so then they're contracted as well. Scrunch up your face really, really tight. Give a big inhale. And on your exhale, release it all. And just be still. Think about all the tension leaving your body. Relax into your pose. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Give a big good morning stretch. And roll over to your side in your fetal position. Let's take another moment to relax, to release the anxiety and tension in our bodies. Just sink into your mat and just be. Slowly start to push yourself up to seated. Crisscross applesauce, easy seat, or whatever is comfortable for you. Nice long spine. Inhale, hands up overhead, and then bring them to heart center. I hope you're feeling a little more relaxed, a little less tension going on in your body right now. If y'all have any questions, concerns, comments, please drop them below. I would love to connect with you. If you learn to like and subscribe, that would be wonderful too, so then we can bring more free yoga to everybody around us. May you always stay true to your intentions, true to your heart's desire, and speak loving truth to those around you. Love ya.